What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be reacting to Ty's best players tier list. So I made my one yesterday, and we're gonna be comparing them, the two of them, so seeing how different we are. Obviously, two completely different opinions. Ty's gonna look at this game a lot more from a competitive standpoint than I am, because at the end of the day, while I'm a pretty good player, I'm not Ty. I don't think I ever will be. No matter how much I play this game, I don't have the reflexes of someone like Ty. But yeah, so go sub to Ty. A link will be in the description for him. And I was gonna react to his power forward list today, and I saw this here, so might as well just react to this one. Anyway, so now let's get on to it.
What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today we are going to be ranking the best overall cards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Now this video is going to be coming out later on this week, so if there's any newer cards that aren't on this list,
yeah, I think
that is the
fair play to Ty. I'm pretty sure he's away with his family at the minute, and he's still getting videos up. That is, as someone who has had to do that a few times while going on trips, getting videos up, it is one of the hardest things to do.
Reason why. Now, before we dive any further into ranking these cards, if you are new to my channel,
yep, link in the description. Go sub to him.
Consider smashing that subscribe button, as we're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. Great start here with Allen Iverson.
He's not F tier. I don't care what type of agenda you have against Iverson. He's not F tier. Well, actually, it depends on what type of cards you have. I think I put him C. But it all depends on what other cards you have, but no way is he F tier.
And quite honestly, guys, I don't think I'm going to move Allen Iverson.
He's not.
Move him into detail. Now, listen.
I'm okay with that.
Allen
I'm okay with that.
Iverson is a card.
I had him in C. I'm not going to complain about D. I'm actually not going to complain about that. I'm cool with that, especially with knowing how much he hates him. Just F tier, no. There has to be at least 5 worse cards in him.
He could change the game, okay? And if eventually he becomes an S or A tier card, I would look back at this and be like, dang, I wish.
No, he won't.
But my thought process...
We both used him.
I do not think...
we both used Iverson. We know what Iverson's going to be. Unfortunately, height means even more this year than ever before. Who thought height can mean more in a MyTEAM than it did last year? But height means more this year.
It is worth running a card as talented and as gifted as Allen Iverson is on the offensive end of the court. I don't feel like it's worth running him, and maybe I'll regret that, right? Because he is,
who's gonna use him?
Stat and badge card in 2K right now.
Just put a limitless
maybe
range.
I'll regret putting him in D tier.
Hate is better.
Not putting him in F tier because I don't think he's that bad.
He's not
I
F.
think he's a fun card to use, but unless you're playing clutch time, triple threat, which you might be, then Allen Iverson's a little better. If we're talking unlimited, I'm gonna go D tier with the card. Andre Kirilenko, I'm gonna plug into C tier right now. I put Andre Kirilenko on this list.
C tier?
Just because he is still one of the top defensive players in the game. And again, a guy we'll see later on in this video is Paul George. And some people honestly prefer AK2 PG-13. So it really comes down to preference with Andre Kirilenko. Offensively, might be a little more limited than PG.
How few players?
Whereas, I mean, he is 6.
He must have no player. If he's got AK that low, he must have no players.
I don't mind his release at all.
I had 200, so he was an A.
Kirilenko compared to some other guys. Andrew Wiggins. Again, if we're talking about the best overall cards.
Okay, so he must have a lot less cards than I had. He must have a lot less cards than I had, because I had both of those guys in my A tier.
I still think at the shooting guard position, you can make the case Andrew Wiggins is top 4 or 5. I mean, even with the new additions, the new cards that have came out, I still think Andrew Wiggins is up there for being one of the top shooting guards in the game. He's 6'8".
It's tough.
Very good release.
I think both of them should be B. There's can't be lower than B. Both him and AK.
He does some things that a lot of people won't talk about, like get you paint stops, and the fact that he's 6'8".
He's tall.
I do think that, is enough to put him in C tier. Bill Russell, you're solid, but if we're talking about the best overall cards, I'm putting you in F tier. You guys can hate.
Okay, he must have just demis all over the place.
He's got set shot 17. He can't really dribble. He's lacking quite a few.
But in the grand. Okay, he didn't have a word to say, but in the grand scheme of things, Bill Russell's better than Iverson. Just in my opinion. Yeah, if Bill Russell's F, I think Iverson probably belongs in F. But he must only have the best of the best here, because Bill Russell's more usable in any setting, including competitive.
Get down to it. Defensively, he's going to be complete, but that's really it. And if you really want a good defensive player, Kevin Garnett, Giannis, there's better defenders than Bill Russell with a better jump shot. Just not super high on Bill Russell. I'm not super high on Carmelo Anthony anymore, but
yeah.
I mean, how many better cards in the game still are there than Melo? I mean, the dude has a ton of badges. Good stat-wise, defensively not great, but good enough. Shooting-wise, still pretty knocked out.
Defense is surprisingly good.
To whether you're still running Melo or not. I mean, if you are still running Carmelo and you're good with his release, he's one of the best shooters in all of 2K.
Yeah, I still use him.
Put him in B tier right now. We'll just see where things end up at the end of this video. Cliff Robinson, another one, is another
same tier as Melo, yeah.
Because of how bad his release is.
I'm pretty sure outside of Allen Iverson, every player that I've used were in A tier and my tier list. So obviously, he must only be like A and B in my tier list with a couple of others.
I do not think I can
I will say, in my opinion, Iverson is the worst player on this list so far.
A tier higher. I just don't. Set shot 3 is tough. That's a very
It's not that bad.
I know he's got fundamental dribble style. Defensively, he's absolutely magnificent. Stat-wise, is literally perfect, almost flawless.
I'm fine with him being where he is. If Melo's there, I'm fine with him.
With his release. Again, long, lengthy defender at that power forward center position. Just comes down to that set shot 3 release. I don't think I can put him higher than Carmelo. I just don't know if I can do that without really playing with Cliff Robinson quite a bit. Stat-wise, badge-wise, the dude's incredible. But when it comes down to set shot 3 and the game's on the line, are you grading with that? Or is he going to step in like Carmelo? I just know Carmelo Anthony.
I think the biggest problem is that he shoots from like here.
Better. Damian Lillard, another card. I mean, look.
D.
Guys,
same tier as Iverson.
if you want me to hype up all these point guards,
In my opinion, Dame's slightly better. Tiny bit better.
You came to the wrong video. Damian Lillard, offensively speaking, is up there with Allen Iverson for being one of the best point guards in the game.
I think Dame's a bit better.
He can't play a lick of defense. This Damian Lillard.
No, I just literally attack Dame when he's on the floor.
Absolutely fried, sizzled, toasted, whatever word you want to use, like a piece of bacon. I mean, I'm gonna put both these cards in D tier. We're gonna see a lot of points.
Like, I'm looking at the players he has here. The only player, like, Manu has to go into F, even though Manu's not bad. Like, he only has really good cards. Like, Cowens is as good as Bill Russell. Cowens has to go probably D.
And I'm just gonna hop right into De'Aaron Fox being D tier. I think between these 3 cards, here's how it goes. Okay.
Fox is better on defense.
AI's the shortest, probably the most gifted offensively. Dame's the second shortest, probably the second gifted. De'Aaron Fox is the third shortest. Probably the third.
De'Aaron's way better on defense.
Best offensively.
He's not even comparable.
Defensively, he's going to be a little bit better. Still has Hall of Fame quick first step. Has quick dribble style. Like, De'Aaron Fox deserves to be in the same tier as these guys. I think De'Aaron Fox is the best point guard in D tier. You guys might not agree with me.
Yeah, I would say De'Aaron should probably be in B. De'Aaron's better than these two, in my opinion. Not by much, but he's better.
Back at this in a week or two, I will regret putting De'Aaron Fox in this tier. But you can't tell me his badges are better.
I think I put the wrong De'Aaron Fox in my tier list yesterday.
The eye test. And if you can't move with De'Aaron Fox, I mean, that's really the only thing holding him back. Dave Cowens.
Well, how can you not move? How can someone not move with quick dribble style, Kawhi behind the back, De'Aaron Fox signature size up, and have quick first step? Who can't move with De'Aaron Fox?
I know a lot of people are running Dave Cowens.
He's CBD somewhere there.
Dave Cowens probably is better than a guy like Bill Russell.
He is.
But here's the problem with Dave Cowens.
Not that much better.
You're looking at a card here with a total of 27 base badges. That's the problem with the card. Outside of that, there's nothing bad.
He only got 6 to him.
But because he only has 27 badges, you really have to pick and choose what you want to give him. If you want to make him a good shooter, then obviously playmaker-wise, you might not be able to really get that full extent with the quick first step.
Can't handle the ball either.
It comes down to no unstrippable. That's a big badge for a center. You know, no limitless takeoff. Shooting-wise, lacks a bit. He's a card I should probably try out, though.
D.
Because of his defense and these defensive badges, I think he's one of the most underrated cards in the game. I'm going to put him in C tier.
I'm fine with that.
If you want to put him B or higher, I don't.
Don't think anyone's going to do that. S. S.
I'm going to put him in S right now. We might move him around. For me right now, I think David Robinson is just overall the most complete center in the game. I believe that. Now, I like another center better than D-Rob probably, but that's
Kevin Garnett, but just you. It's just you.
Most people are going to have more success with David Robinson compared to me.
I hate it. Like, the more time has gone on, the more, like, D-Rob, I'm just used to D-Rob, and D-Rob is just better for me than, say, not even like a Marcus Gasol. D-Rob has just stood the test time. D-Rob's better than Kevin Garnett. D-Rob's that little bit better than Mike. And I personally prefer Mike. And Mike still might be my favorite, but, like, D-Rob is the objective best because he's bigger and more people have more success with D-Rob.
any other center in 2K. That's just a fact. You give him limitless, you give him sniper. Defensively, he's pretty complete. You upgrade the vertical defensive rebounding, he's gonna snag boards. Just the
Players with low steal ratings now don't drop the ball as much anymore.
I think there's not a center who's 7'1" that can do what.
No, D-Rob's S.
And it's crazy to think this card came out over a month and a half ago. That is crazy to me. Still at S tier. DeMarcus Cousins.
No, see, he sucks.
Tough one. Because straight up right now at the center position, I don't know if I'm taking DeMarcus Cousins over Dave Cowens. I'm sorry. I just don't.
George Mikan's better than DeMarcus Cousins.
Badge-wise, yes, DeMarcus Cousins has more total badges. He's a better shooter.
Barely.
Defensively, he's not nearly as good as Cowens. I can't definitively tell you guys right now that Boogie Cousins is better than Dave Cowens.
He can kind of dribble. That's all he does. He can kind of dribble.
Boogie Cousins any higher. I simply cannot do it for you.
If you guys don't remember, in NBA 2K19, they basically released a DeMarcus Cousins that was this card in May, and it was the best center in the game by a mile when he came out. That just shows what's happened. Like since 2K19, it has just been we're getting god tier cards in like November.
You want to put DeMarcus Cousins in B tier or any higher? Do it.
You're good. I pretty much agree. I think it's pretty spot on.
I've started to gain a little bit of an appreciation for what Cowens is.
Cowens decent.
I'll put Boogie.
Oh, keep him down to C. He stinks.
I think these guys are pretty close.
You don't even have George Mikan on the list, who's just better. A tier for Dolph Shays. But you don't have George Mikan, who's just better than Boogie.
Put the difference going into A tier. I believe that Dolph Shays is a top 3 or 4 power forward in the game.
I agree.
I know we're ranking the best cards, but he's a top 15, 20 card in the game.
I agree.
I still love his release. Got a great 3-ball. The only downfall to Dolph is the perimeter defense. He can even handle the ball. You can, give him any defensive badge in the game. Shooting wise, literally is perfect. Dolph Shays is one of those.
He's got decent lateral though.
Impact on 2K nearly 2 months ago. And I hope we see a Dolph Shays later on in 2K. He is that good. I want to see a Dolph Shays later on.
Yeah, we will, because there's no... He made the 75th team. We're not going to see a 75th. Like, we could probably see a diamond Dolph Shays soon that's basically this card, which would be a crazy card.
This card. Like, this drop that we got on October 29th was absolutely juice. We got KD and Dolph in the same
and AK.
drop. And let's not forget about Andre Kirilenko. That content drop was absolutely crazy.
Budget guys wasn't good, except for Big Z.
Draymond Green,
B.
Jordan Dolph right there.
I
know most of you guys probably.
I don't agree, but I'm okay with it. I think he's B, but I don't think he's that much worse than Dolph. Like, Draymond's dribbling and that behind the back, like I'm keeping Draymond no matter what. Like, if you guys will see it in the video earlier. Like, Dre carried me to a big win in Unlimited. Like, Dre is that dude. Trust me. Like, Draymond really is that dude. So, I think he's high at A, but I'm not mad about it.
They're like, Ty, what? Draymond Green's not as good as
Draymond's really good.
You don't think so? Tell me why. Because I think these cards are I think they're similar, but they're different in their own respects, right? Draymond's got the passing stats. Dolph has the post move stats. For me, those equal out. I don't use post moves. I don't really pass the ball or use passing vision, passing IQ. That doesn't matter.
Passing vision IQ is just all yourself.
Basically the same speed, basically the same lateral quickness, basically the same. Draymond's better interior and perimeter defense. Dolph has, better shooting badges, better vertical. Really just depends on what you're looking at. Dolph's a little bit better rebounder. You can really pick and choose between these two. Draymond's going to have better defensive badges. Dolph's going to have better shooting badges. I don't know who I prefer. Honestly, Draymond's cheaper, so that's who I'm going to take straight up. But both these cards are absolutely...
They're really good. I think Dolph, a quick release puts Dolph ahead.
You are doing
I think the quick release puts Dolph ahead.
Paying another S tier caliber card.
I'm not going to argue.
I honestly, to this day, think
I prefer Penny. I'm not going to argue if you prefer Payton.
Gary Payton is the most underrated card in all of 2K. You guys don't have to agree with me in that kind of take. And if you don't agree with that, if you think Penny Hardaway Magic's better than him, that's cool. That is awesome.
There's not one person that will argue that Gary Payton's not a top 4 point guard in the game, like, is there?
But what I don't want you guys to sit here and slander me for taking Gary Payton as my best point guard in the game. You want to know why he's my best point guard in the game? He's the most complete point guard in the game.
You give him range, he does everything.
6'4".
Can he get range?
He's got good enough interior, one of the best perimeter defense in all of
Remind me later.
Has a better release than Penny, than Magic.
I agree.
Dribble with style. He can create his own shot.
Can't get limitless.
All the playmaking badges in the world. The only thing is shooting wise can't get limitless. Spot him.
Give him some post badges, maybe.
The dude is incredible. And you guys,
Oh,
you don't
he's
have to agree.
outside of like Sam Jones, who's F tier. Like he really does only have the best of the best on this list. Giannis, A or B. I prefer Dolphin, Draymond, Giannis. Actually, no, sorry. This Giannis with all his badges, S. S. The other Giannis, A or B.
But trust me, it's the truth.
Yeah, S for Giannis. I'll give you that.
The truth is this Giannis Antetokounmpo card. On the defensive end of the court,
He's not good on offense. This one's not bad. The other one's awful.
On the court. Yes, the 3-ball isn't great, and we're gonna see a Giannis eventually, probably in about a month, who is gonna be way better than this Giannis just because of the 3-ball. But here's the thing. You guys better be lucky Giannis does not have Hall of Fame interceptor. And if you can get your hands on a Hall of Fame interceptor, Giannis, you are looking at the best defensive player by far in 2K.
Yeah.
Player build.
Giannis is ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
Stats, there's nothing below an 88.
He's ridiculous.
All around the best defensive player in 2K. I don't care what anybody
I agree.
says. Moving on to Hakeem the Dream. I do think Hakeem is better than DeMarcus Cousins. Not as good as David Robinson.
I agree with that, but George Mikan's better than both.
I'm going to slide him right into A tier. I think if you want to make the case Hakeem is better than D-Rob, do it.
No,
I mean, I'm not
no. Who's making that? Who's making that argument?
But if you do want to make that kind of argument,
Who's making that argument?
You think that, okay? Because the cards are pretty similar. Obviously,
D-Rob's better.
Pretty similar. The real only difference, Hakeem's going to be a little better rebounder.
Ball handling is the difference.
Just got a better release. That's really
D-Rob's got half rebound chaser.
Say the steal rating, but I mean, they're basically pretty identical. I just think David Robinson's release does enough for me to put him there.
D-Rob's way better than Hakeem.
Hakeem's release, if you can green it, isn't the worst. It's just if you can green it consistently or not.
Now Crawford, I'm going to put Crawford in B. I don't know what Ty's going to do to him. I don't know how Ty feels. I'm going to say B for Crawford.
Jamal Crawford. I've used Jamal Crawford a couple of times. I actually got him on my No Money Spent squad. I just haven't really excelled with the card.
Gotta give him.
It's not
I like him with
to
range.
say that because objectively Jamal Crawford is good. Just haven't been great with the card. I do think the Trey Burke base on normal timing is one of the most overrated releases in 2K.
I love it.
It's terrible. But I just don't think
I love it. I think it's one of the best.
Faster that it's a top release in the game. I said the same thing last year. Combine that with very bad defense in general. All he's going to do is be able to dribble.
His defense is bad. He doesn't have the badges.
Be able to shoot a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sold on this Jamal Crawford yet. I'm going to put him at C tier. If you want to put him at B or A, I'm not arguing.
I'm going to go B. Harden. A, B?
James Harden, I'm going to put at A tier.
I'm okay with it.
These are probably like, what side? Like, we have all these top shooting guards.
He's either A or B.
Harden's still really A tier. I'm going to throw him in here.
Yeah.
6'5", 6'10".
He is. The other Harden's probably C or D.
Outside the right quarter. He's one of those guys you can just have on your squad, and
Harden's really good
and steady. There's just really no flaws with James Harden. When he came out with Tracy McGrady, who let's just talk about right now as well,
A for T-Mac. I will say though, like that Amethyst Harden that he hasn't put on the list is C or D tier. Like there is not that much of a difference between the two Hardens. I've used both of them. There is a difference. There's at least a tier difference, but there's not that much of a difference.
Was almost 100% convinced that Tracy McGrady was going to be the better player. Okay. I was almost 100% sure that it was like, okay, I need to get my hands on T-Mac. I ran James Harden in quals. He was one of my best players to run. You look at the stats, I mean...
You can't create... It's hard to create with T-Mac.
Yes, T-Mac's a little bit...
T-Mac's catch and shoot player and he plays lanes.
Give the advantage to James Harden. James Harden can dribble the ball a lot better. Release-wise, I mean, I think it's pretty similar. Again, I think the Trey Burke base on normal...
Harden's slow, though.
I don't know. I mean,
Harden's slow.
Wherever T-Mac is wherever Harden is. I think these two are both absolutely great shooting guards, and you will have success with either one of them. It's tough, though.
No, Jay Rich in A. Oh, my God. A for Jason Richardson. Come on, here. Here now. He's not it. He's got freaking power dribble style.
Throw Jason Richardson right in there. I mean... Quite honestly, guys, how do you not throw Jay Rich right in there? Now, none of the body guys aren't going to get Jay Rich.
He's not.
Have him yet. But if
again, I put my head down, lock in, I get this card. He's not good. Like, he's not Peyton. He's not that good. He's barely better than Eddie Jones. Again, I've used the guy barely better than Eddie Jones.
If you don't think Jason Richardson is good, I want to know why. I mean,
he is good. He's just not A tier. In a tier list where we've got... There's someone in B or C tier I've forgotten about that's better.
Including catch and shoot, quick first step, all these finishing badges.
Yeah, but quick first step doesn't matter with power dribble style.
Speed, 90 lateral quickness, great 3-ball, can handle the ball. I'm excited to get Jason Richardson.
He can't burst, though.
I think he's going to be a better current gen player than next gen. Don't be surprised if on current gen, Jason Richardson's my best shooting guard in the game. Just don't be surprised. I know Kobe's over there. I know we got...
What? That sentence just came out of your mouth, Miss Ty. How, like, what?
Clay. But I do think J. Rich has potential. Now, what hurts him is he doesn't have shifty or quick power dribble style.
Power is the worst.
I do love jump shots.
Outside of big. Outside of big, power is the next worst.
Current gen. Might have a lot of shooting guards rack up here on
No, move him down. Wiggins is better than Jason Richardson. I'm sorry. Wiggins is better than Jason Richardson. Jimmy Butler is better than Jason Richardson. Julius Erving is better than Jason Richardson. There are literally... Michael Redd is better than Jason Richardson. Richardson's better than Ray Allen. Currently, left to go on this list. First of all, Harden's better than J. Rich. T-Mac's better than J. Rich. Wiggins is better than J. Rich. That's 3. Jimmy Butler is better than J. Rich. Julius Erving's better than J. Rich. Clay's better than J. Rich. Kobe's better than J. Rich. J. Rich is better than Manu. Michael Redd is better than J. Rich. And then J. Rich is better than all the guys on the bottom list. There are 8, and I repeat, 8 two guards that are better than Jason Richardson. You've only got like 40 players, if even 35, 40 players overall, and there are 8 players in his position better than him. He's barely a top 10 two guard.
It's hard to separate them. I mean, it's hard.
Just move J. Rich down.
These guys. I'm going to move Andrew Wiggins A tier.
Yeah, Wiggins is not 2 tiers lower than Butler.
Much worse than any of these guys at A.
He's better than J. Rich.
A tier at all. I don't think Andrew Wiggins is much worse than any of these guys. Jimmy Butler. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I can't put Jimmy Butler at S tier. He's another A tier player. If you want to make the case he's S tier, you can go ahead. What I'll say is he's offensively more limited.
He has power dribble style as well. He's just way better on defense.
A tier defensively, probably better.
He's basically no limitless range, way better on defense than Jason Richardson. Like way better, like the best defensive player in the game.
Than anybody. Just comes down to what you prefer. I think Jimmy Butler is better than T-Mac, and if there is one guy I'd move down, it's probably Tracy McGrady for this point. But some people prefer T-Mac to a guy like Jimmy Butler. So we're just going to list all these shooting guards here at the start of A tier. Did
he really say J. Rich over T-Mac?
I mean, I want to know your guys' opinion. Out of these 4 cards, who are you taking? I don't necessarily
I don't know, but not Jason Richardson.
Super, super close in my opinion.
All B.
John Wall, an A tier point guard. He is an A tier point guard. Again, we might have to balance this out if we get a lot.
You're just gonna put everyone like
A tier heavy.
You got Penny, Magic, who are better.
The shooting guards are all first of all so close that I don't know how I'm gonna separate these. I just don't know how I'm gonna separate them. I might have to balance them out eventually. But John Wall, just in my opinion, is a step lower than Gary Payton. If you want to make the case John Wall is better than Gary Payton, you definitely can.
No, no one's gonna argue that.
Lower. I mean, Julius Erving's another just one.
Better. He's just a better. He literally is better. J. Rich.
Just another one of these.
Literally just better. J. Rich.
It's just so tough for me to say Julius Erving's better or worse than Jimmy Butler. Same thing. With,
I don't know.
All these guys.
But he's just better than Jason Richardson.
I mean, same thing with T-Mac.
He's just better than J. Rich though. He's like J. Rich with half range.
And then everybody else at A tier. Probably not going to defend as good. Probably not going to move as good as a guy like James Harden. Again, it's just so tough.
Have you seen one player? He's comparing. He's like, oh, not going to move as good as James Harden. Probably not going to defend like Jimmy Butler. It's like he hasn't mentioned Jason Richardson because Jason Richardson doesn't belong.
Is his Kevin Durant card?
S.
Not a tough decision.
I'll give you that.
Definitely an S tier player.
There's only one player that I have a problem with reading is J. Rich.
He is my favorite small forward in the game, and it's
move J. Rich down a tier, and I'm cool with this.
I don't even know after KD who would come in number 2. If we're looking at small forwards in 2K, I want to know after KD where we're going, right?
Tracy McGrady.
Maybe it's
that's number 2.
Time in 2K that we just start playing some shooting guards at small forward. Maybe that's the meta because.
Jimmy T-Mac are the next 2 best.
Yeah. I mean, the small forward position is weak. So maybe it's time that I'm...
Best thing to go with 2 guard up.
Shooting guard up to that
2 guard stacked.
And just say, hey, they can play small forward.
This is like 2K20 all over again with 2 guard. It's just stacked at the start here.
KG, you're with D-Rob. There's going to be more than 5 players at S.
I hate KG, but I'm not going to argue.
Wherever David Robinson is wherever KG is, in my opinion.
I have a love-hate relationship with KG. If you guys, again... The video, I'm actually going to hit upload on it right now. The SBMM makes me face the same player 4 times in a row video where KG scores an own basket, which is a bit of a He scores an own basket and then comes on at the start of a game and then comes on in the second quarter and scores a second own basket. I'm not even kidding. I scored 2 own baskets with this Kevin Garnett in 1 game. Like, I have a love-hate relationship with him. I'm not going to argue him an S. I don't agree, but I'm not going to argue it. I think he's better than Hakeem. I would move Hakeem down 1. I'd move Boogie down 1. And move KG down 1, but I'm not going to argue.
On either gen, I can't separate the two. I'm glad that I have 2 centers in NBA 2K22. Now,
I prefer Kevin Garnett. I love on current gen, though. I love him on current gen.
D-Rob out there. I can put KG out there. And there's not a guy...
I don't like KG on next.
Now, game by game, it might switch. I might be really moving and grooving with D-Rob, and then he's a lot better than KG. Same thing last night. I was really hooping with KG and just kind of ran with him. But
I hate Kevin Garnett.
These cards are just absolutely incredible. Kevin McHale, look, you're okay. Kevin
He's fine.
McHale is okay.
I agree.
I am going to throw him in with
He's as good as Boogie, though.
Because, yes, Kevin McHale has more total badges, but I don't think his defensive stats are nearly what Dave got.
Wingspan, though.
And especially with the set shot 3,
I like set shot 3.
Put him higher than Dave Cowan's on this list.
How's go A?
I'm going to go into S tier with is Klay Thompson. He is a card that I think will forever be one of the top, not forever, but for a while, be one of the top shooting guards in my team.
He's 1A, 1B with Kobe.
Because he is 6'6", hot spots from everywhere, can shoot, can play incredibly good defense. Yes, he's only got 4 Hall of Famers, but the Hall of Fame badges are really, really solid badges overall. Shifty dribble style, Klay Thompson's base.
He's 1A, 1B with Kobe.
Just a solid overall card in my team. And imagine me not putting Kobe Bryant right up here with Klay Thompson. I mean, imagine me
1A, 1B.
Those
2 of them,
S tier shooting guards. I think Kobe Bryant is the best shooting guard in my team, and not only that, I think he's the best overall player in my team.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
He's the most complete player in my team, and I don't even think it is close. This Kobe or the 75th anniversary is my best player in my team right now. Again, I don't think it's too close. Now we got a couple of guys that might surprise you. Larry Bird.
B. I love Larry. B tier. I love Larry.
I mean, C or D, it's really your choice.
Oh, I go B. I'm not going to argue C, but I love this Larry Bird. I put him in B. I love this Larry.
He does have the hidden interior defense, but ball handle rating, not great. Not very quick with the ball. Larry Bird release.
Yeah, but he doesn't miss.
If you're on next gen.
He doesn't miss, though.
Overall, not a great card.
He doesn't miss.
Right, if you can play.
Shooting with Larry Bird is like shooting with IRL Mick Curley. Again, you guys can look at my stats for my 1 year playing Super League. 100%. He don't just like I don't miss. I didn't miss that year. Larry Bird didn't miss. Doesn't miss. But Jesus, they're fairly bad stats to have. The one year where there's ever stats for me was the year I was out for 90% of the year with a torn hamstring, but I still didn't miss. Let's not forget that. Still didn't miss.
Play with him in any type of a competitive setting, and he's going to be fine. Just don't think he's quite as
A.
good as a guy like Carmelo Anthony. Magic Johnson up next is a card what I'm going to do is this.
I'm cool with it.
This is what I'm going to do.
I'm cool with it.
Because of how I want my point guard.
You're going to put Penny in A. I'm cool with it.
Down to B tier. Because of how I want my point guard.
You're going to put Penny in. I'm cool.
I'm also going to... I don't want to do this. I can't move.
You know what? I agree. Do not please move Jay Rich instead of Harden down. But I'm cool with these guys here. Crawford a tier below and Penny a tier above with Peyton at top. I'm very cool with that. Just please do not move Harden down. Move Jay Rich instead.
Anywhere else. I'm going to have John Wall at B tier though. If you don't like this, I'm sorry. Here's what I'll say. Magic Johnson has a dribble style that makes him the slowest full court dribbler in maybe.
And he doesn't have the behind the back anymore.
So slow.
He doesn't have this behind the back anymore.
I'm doing this to prove a point that Magic Johnson is not worth his price, and I'll just say that up front. Maybe I'm doing this to say Magic
100, he's not bad for 100.
He is not nearly a top 2 point guard in the game. Not even close.
No, Penny's better.
I don't care what play style you're running with.
I told everyone before Magic came out, Penny was going to be better, and Penny's better.
Unless you're, on next gen and, want to just run 2-man with Magic Johnson all game. I can't see any other way he's higher than B tier.
F.
A card going into F tier is Manu Ginobili.
He's not it.
Manu is not as bad as I thought he would be.
No, he's fine.
Still for this list,
he's the worst player on this list. It's not even close.
Literally, what more do I need to say? If you need anything, just go watch the Manu Ginobili gameplay. I just don't really think he's like that right now.
A?
Michael Red, here's what I'll say about Michael Red.
He's so much better than Jay Rich.
Very, very tough thing to say.
He's so much better than Jay Rich.
Michael Red is a step below all my shooting guards.
He's so much better than Jay Rich. It's not even funny.
That's a tough thing to say because a lot of people are going to disagree.
He's so much better than Jay Rich.
He's 6'6".
He's so much better than Jay Rich.
Awesome. This base.
Yes, but it's better than power.
Is something that
you're going angry. You're getting so angry at base dribble style, which is a bad dribble style. I get it, but it's better than power. You have no problem with Jay Rich, whose main thing is attacking the basket, who can't attack the basket because of his dribble style. Base dribble style doesn't matter because Michael Red doesn't miss.
I absolutely hate. I cannot stand base. If you have power, awesome. If you have flash.
How are you saying awesome? Power is literally worse than base. At least base, you can go from a standing start and just burst in opposite direction. You don't have a burst. Like, if you're dribbling with your right, you don't do any dribble animations. You literally flick both your sticks the opposite side and you can burst that opposite direction. You can't do anything with power.
You're awesome. Base dribble style is awesome.
So much better than power.
He's underrated. And shooting-wise, he's one of the best shooters in the game. But how important really is that? Unless you really play clutch time, I'm taking Dr. J definitely over Michael Red.
I agree.
T-Mac, Jimmy,
I agree.
James Harden.
Jay Rich is nowhere close.
Kind of maybe biased with that, but B tier is good, guys. You got to remember.
I'm cool with him in B tier. Just Jay Rich, he doesn't belong with Jay Rich. B.
Paul George, I am going to go. Oof, this is a tough one. I'm going to go A.
I think Wiggins is better and plays better position.
He is an A tier caliber small forward in my team. It's just
Wiggins better.
Position overall isn't weak. Like at his position, I guess he's better than all these guys, but
just use
these
Wiggins.
Guys are just so tough at that shooting guard.
Just use Wiggins.
A lot of people like Paul George more than I do. I just think his release is mid. I mean, a lot is mid with Paul George.
But like Wiggins is better.
I've just always been against and biased against Paul George. That's just what I'll say. He sold me in, I think it was 2K19, and ever since that, my relationship with Paul George has hindered. The guy I think that's better than Magic Johnson is Penny Hardaway. I said it during my gameplay that I don't know who's better between Penny and Magic.
No, Penny was better.
I'm here to tell you guys I like
Penny's way better.
Much more than Magic Johnson. He can actually dribble. I can actually move with Penny Hardaway on both gens. He doesn't jog up the court. I get it. His release isn't great. Still has a quick dribble style. I wish he had a quick chain or hyper drive, but still. The base Penny Hardaway I am taking over Magic Johnson. Again, this is my tier list. Pretty tough to separate some things. We're going to have to maybe balance some things out here, but it's where I'm at on him right now. Ray Allen.
C, one below.
I just think is a worse Michael Red.
Yeah.
You guys might hate me for putting Ray Allen down here in C tier, but remember, these are the best cards in my team.
He's C tier.
6'5". I have a hard time comparing him to Dr. J, comparing him to Michael.
No, he's not in the same stratosphere as him.
I think Ray Allen just is that slight step below in the C tier. Remember, C tier is not bad. Like, I love Sam Jones with all my heart. I think Sam Jones is so much better than Manu Ginobili.
I agree.
He's 6'4", though. I can't, and I just the fact that Sam Jones made this list is pretty.
Bill Russell needs to be a higher tier. There has to be a tier just for Manu Ginobili. He's so much worse. Like, he's a step below everyone else. There needs to be a tier for just Manu.
Incredible. But again,
Sam Jones is fine.
D tier is not bad though, guys. I want you guys.
Steve Nash D as well.
I'm decently high on Sam Jones. I'm running on my no money spent squad.
Duncan
but
B.
These are the best players in my team. Like Bill Russell, still on my no money spent squad. Steve Nash.
Don't put him in F. He's better.
I'm gonna throw Steve Nash in D tier.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's another one of those things where you guys might be like, "What? Same tier as De'Aaron Fox? How does that work?"
Yeah, because he's got limitless.
Dribble style isn't terrible. Okay, it's really not bad, and I honestly think in clutch time or whatever else, Steve Nash is gonna be solid.
I'm pretty sure it's
He's
almost
just not
base.
A point guard I'm high on, and I maybe I need to separate my point guards even more, but. Point guards are a pretty top-heavy position. I said in my point guard video that it's basically a top 4 race. And
Bill Russell in F tier still seems awful because in my opinion, Bill Russell and Counts are comparable.
Guys, Tim Duncan last, but
I don't like his release, but I mean he's literally a slightly worse shooting Kevin Garnett. Like there are genuinely competitive players that still run this guy instead of KG. He's B. Like the only player that I think Jay Rich is 1 tier too high. I agree. I don't disagree with Kevin Garnett, but I think he's 1 tier too high. I think Hakeem and Paul George are 1 tier too high. I think the only one that I'm more than 1 tier off on is Tim Duncan. I think Tim Duncan's B tier. I think you're 2 tiers off on Duncan.
Not least, I gotta go C tier with.
Okay, I'm cool with that. It's only 1 tier. There is not one player here that I think is more than 1 tier off. Every player, like some players, I don't necessarily agree with. I would honestly put Iverson down in F tier, which is kind of crazy. At this stage, I would put Iverson in F tier. But Manu probably deserves a tier to himself. He's that much worse than everyone else. I think Bill Russell deserves to be out of that tier because he's a lot better than Manu. I have Manu. I will never use. I'll use Manu for a video. I will never use the guy just in an actual setting. But yeah, I'm actually cool with this. I think it's a pretty good list. I actually think it's a pretty good list.
Seats. I don't think he's quite as good as the market.
Maybe move Jay Rich down. Please move Jay Rich down.
Just, the best overall cards in my team. So you guys might hate my D tier. You guys might absolutely hate it. But I'm sorry.
No, they're all similar standard.
I guess my point guards are separated because Jamal
Crawford's better than all of them. Yeah. Oh no, your point guard position is perfect. Your points are absolutely perfect.
Same thing with shooting guards. I think.
Like I'd personally swap Penny with Peyton, but like other than that, like your tiers are right. Penny and Peyton are like streets ahead is the two best. Then it's probably John Wall, Magic. I would put Marcus Smart in that B tier as well. And then there's Jamal Crawford.
I think I did kind of spread it out as well as I can. I want your guys'
like there's a lot of cards missing from this list. I'm actually cool with AK and C right now. I thought initially it was a bit weird because I thought he was going to have more players. He's missing a lot of players. Like he's missing Marcus Smart, who's probably like a B tier player. I'm just going to see my tier to see is there any like players he just missed. And like it's cool because he tried to keep it down to a lower number. And there's so like this is the year where there are like the most good players we've ever had in my team. Like at this stage in the game, we have not had this many good players ever before. But like, no George Mikan, he's probably as good as Hakeem Olajuwon. He's B or A. I still think Eddie Jones and Mikal Bridges belong somewhere in like C tier. Gerald Wallace belongs somewhere on the list. Gerald Wallace is really good. Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he's maybe like a C or a D tier player for this list. I was trying to see what guys I had in what tiers that I just completely forgotten. No, I think and Arvydas Sabonis probably belongs somewhere. Maybe Andre Drummond for guys who like interiors. I think I might be one of the few guys that like that Andre Drummond. Maybe Rip Hamilton should have been on this list, but other than that, I don't disagree really with anything. Like, I strongly disagree with Jay Rich being better than Wiggins, but that is the only thing that I really strongly disagree with on this list. So, yeah. Really solid list there by Ty. Not just looking for a competitive standpoint. As someone who's clearly not a competitive player, I don't really have a problem with it. So, anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.